you can actually see the hips of the horse rise and fall as a horse is walking away. And the 4-beat pattern of the horse is the only thing that as closely replicates the human walk or gait that's in existence. In fact, so much so that the brand new Texas Children's Hospital on 45 and the Woodlands has a mechanical horse inside their new PT development center, right? And their new physical therapy center. So it's this repetitious pattern that builds and stimulates the muscles in the core to provide core strengthening and cognitively that just if a child has autism or STEMs, they seem to just melt into that saddle, right? They just quiet down. Their nervousness goes away. Their anxiety goes away, and it allows them to be more attentive and listening, focusing, following direction, and then learning.
So they become one, more or less, instead of two separate entities because they're moving to the movement of the horse.
That's
kind
exactly
of what
right.
I hear you saying.
Yes.
That's cool. That's very cool. So you seem very passionate about this.
Well, it's interesting. When you come out to the ranch and you meet some of our families, we serve 70 families every week for therapeutic riders, and then about 35 children and ladies through our heart program and kids doing therapy one-on-one. You just can't overlook or you just know that God's in the midst of all of this when you see what's happened and how these families have transformed through Inspiration Ranch, because the child with special needs or the family that is in crisis, it is not just related to one child or one individual. It is a family focused opportunity for them to really rally around and get the help and services that they need. And so when you're talking to our families and you see physically the change and the impact that it's made, not only on the child coming for the services, and that's our client, but also the difference that it's made and through the entire family with the siblings coming together and the families and the parents staying together. That's so critical. The divorce rate for special needs families is 85%. So it's the heart of our board of directors and our organization to love on the entire family unit. And so if you ever come out and you want to meet some of our families and kids and see this firsthand, you'll know why this passion exudes.
I haven't been out there, but I've heard about it for such a while.
Well, I would love to
I need to go out there. So if somebody feels the need to come out there, do they need to contact the Inspiration Ranch themselves, or do they go through other organizations like Montgomery County Youth Services, or how does it work?
No, they need to contact us directly. In fact, me for the tours, if that's their role.
So you start there and roll into anything else.
Well, if somebody wants to come out because they have a child that they want to consider enlisting in our program, then they can go through our website. We have a client portal, and through there that anybody can access, they can download the application process to get that started for them to put their child on a horse and start that therapy. Everybody has to go through our intake coordinator, get a doctor's release. We do have a wait list. Right now, it's rather extensive. It's 35 kids are currently on our wait list, and that's nearly a year long.
Well, that's kind of exciting, though. But so tell me some of the things that you do to supplement the cost, because this is a nonprofit organization. And I know you have some upcoming events, some very close upcoming events that you do, and then some bigger events that you do. So tell me a little bit about that.
Right. Thank you for asking that. We have about 5 major events that we do throughout the year, and 3 are called Let's Unwind. And Let's Unwind are an opportunity for you and your guests to come out in a complimentary wine tasting to 3 different venues, one every month, and that's June, July, and August. So we have one on June 20th at Cellar 24, July 18th at the Butler House off of Gosling Road, and August 15th at Wild Stallion Vineyards. The purpose of this event is to gain awareness about our upcoming Denim and Diamonds Gala, which is going to be held on Saturday, September 29th at the Woodlands Waterway Marriott. That is our largest fundraiser of the year. In fact, this year we have a robust $500,000 goal. Woohoo! Last year we raised about $460,000. This is a large portion of our income as it pertains to our therapeutic riding program. And it's critical that these funds are raised because every time a child's on a horse, our cost is $198 for that child to have that half-hour therapeutic riding session. And the maximum amount that we charge any family is $50. So every single family has a variance of $143. And then 32% of our families cannot even afford the $50. So we supplement all the way down to $5 pays. So there is a wide gap, nearly $500,000 needed in additional funding so that we can keep our costs as low as possible for our families. So ultimately, the Denim and Diamonds Gala supports that. The Let's Unwind events is where we're actually collecting wine bottles, or people are bringing or purchasing wine bottles, depending on the venue. You just need to check the website to see what's available for each of the different locations. And the wine is collected, and then at our gala, it is a part of our wine pull event, which is part of our fundraising. One of the many things that we have. So
everything connects together.
Absolutely.
Now, did you guys have damage from Harvey with the horses?
Well, not with our horses. We knew that Harvey was coming. And so because we had flooded twice, quite rather extensively in 2016, sadly, we've become pros in evacuation. And we removed our horses 3 days off property prior to Harvey even hitting, got them acclimated and over into their new environment that was high and dry and safe, pulled everything up or off property that wasn't nailed down or had to stay. And so actually our impact from Harvey was rather minimal. That was not the case a year and a half earlier for the first tax day flood and memorial flood. Those came up so quickly that it was a different story then, but we've learned since then. So,
unfortunately, right?
Yes, sadly.
How many horses do you have?
We have 15 horses. Yeah. And we get them from all over. We get them from their gifts to us. We've purchased some. We have some from Huntsville State Prison. We have some that we've acquired from the Houston Police Department. So our horses is not about a particular breed or style of horse. It's rather how trainable are they to fit within our Pirelli Barn and Style program, because it's about them mixing with the children.
So tell me about volunteers. Do you need volunteers? And, not just for your events, which I'm sure you need volunteers for your events, but do you need them to help at the ranch itself?
Absolutely. Inspiration Ranch could not run apart from its volunteers. In fact, 150 volunteers are actively engaged at our ranch and help us to pull off what we do with our kids and all of our programs every week. So 150 volunteers a week.
Wow.
Of course, there's a natural nutrition rate that happens with that. You can always check out our volunteer tab on our website if you wanted to see when our next volunteer orientation is.
How old do you have to be?
The minimum age is 15.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, and like I said, there's always a natural attrition rate that happens like during the summer months or at the fall, the start of our fall program or the start of our winter program. So you can check it out, fill out the application, come through a 2-hour orientation that is mandatory. A background check, of course, is required. And then you could be a sidewalker. Beyond that, we have a level higher, more esteemed level of volunteer that helps with our equine program. And these are our horse leaders. And they've actually not only been a sidewalker previously, but then they've graduated to an additional 8 hours plus of training and ongoing training with horsemanship skills in order for them to be horse leaders in our program.
Wow.
So
it sounds like a great program. Now, also LMC took that on as a project too, didn't they? 1 year?
No, not quite.
I thought they did.
It's been in the running a couple of years. Yep. In fact, when I was going through LMC myself in 2007, we had it as one of the top 3. That you're actually thinking of Henry's Home and Human Horse Sanctuary. That was the project 2 years ago.
I know, but I thought they were too.
Yeah, no. We actually are very close with Donna Stedman and her program. Right. They're an amazing organization, but it's an amazing organization, and we collaborate all the time. Anybody that is looking for somebody or a ranch and an equine program to help individuals with PTSD, we guide them straight to Donna Stedman for her work there. Likewise, she's sending anybody with children that have autism or cerebral palsy or Down syndrome or any other rare, disease or diagnosis. She sends them to us.
Have you ever worked with Bridgewood Farms?
Not at this time, but like I said, we're looking to expand. If you've been by our ranch anytime soon, you've noticed for the last year we've had a relocating and expanding sign out front, and we are hoping to find some new land in the Conroe area to become more centrally located in Montgomery County to better serve the clients that need us and can reach us. And also to acquire more land. More land means more horses. More horses means more therapists. More therapists means more programs, which also could expand. This is a long way to say that, yes, we're actually looking right now for new collaboration opportunities with other area nonprofits and to be able to collaborate with them.
I know they're located on 54 acres out in North Willis. They're one of the oldest nonprofits, being 50 years old. They've been around a long time. It just seems like that would be a natural connection. So maybe sometime in the future.
Great. Absolutely.
So somebody wants to find out more about you, they can go to Inspiration Ranch on your Facebook page, of course.
That's great.
And then you have PCLranch.org. Is that correct?
Actually, PCI Ranch
was
our old website. Actually, it's just inspirationranch.org.
Oh, that's so much easier.
Way to reach us. Yeah, because actually, once we relocate, the Panther Creek and our name is actually going to go obsolete, right? Because we're not going to be located on Panther Creek anymore.
Inspiration Ranch is so much easier.
We're just going to be known as Inspiration Ranch.
So. Okay, well, thank you for coming on and telling us all about the different programs you have. And people can go to your website to find out more about that, how to volunteer, how to get their kids or whoever involved, and go to some of these events, in particular the Let's Unwind events that's coming up this month.
That's right. The first one, again, is on June 20th, and we have one every month up until our Gala.
And it's wine.
And it's free.
It's wine. It's free. So, I mean, come on. Really? Okay. So, thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Margie.
We're going to take a quick break. I'm Margie Taylor, Conroe Culture News, and we'll be back to hear about the Tamina Cemetery Project.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris. And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show. If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
What is homelessness? Have you seen parents struggle to find a job without having transportation or childcare? What about the children sleeping in cars with nothing to eat? Families shouldn't have to struggle to survive, and children should not be homeless. Family Promise of Montgomery County serves the needs of homeless families and their children. Learn about ways you can help and learn about partnership opportunities at www.familypromiseofmc.org or call our day center at 936-441-8778.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Okay, and we are back. I'm Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture News, Lone Star Community Radio, FM 104.5, 106.1, or you can go to IR Lone Star, or you can listen live, Facebook Live at Conroe Culture News. We're here every Monday from noon to 1. The show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic. And if you want to be a guest on the show or sponsor the show, that'd be great. Just send me a note at margie@taylorizedpr.com or a Facebook message, or one way or another, you will find me. I'm pretty easily found. So the third guest today is Mr. Elijah Easley. He's the chairman of the board of the Tamina Cemetery and Community Project. And I really want to learn more about what's going on over there. So welcome, Mr. Easley.
Thank you so much, Margie. I first want to say thank you for this opportunity for us to get the word out on what's happening in the Tamina area. There's some great things that are happening there. Of course, the cemetery is the project that we're focused in on right now primarily. And the reason for that is you all know that we lost 3 children in a house fire that was there in the community, the Johnson family.
A year ago.
Yes, exactly, on May the 12th. And at that time, I was asked whether or not the children could be buried there. And we went down and we looked around and we saw that because of Hurricane Harvey and also because of some other things that had occurred prior to that, it was unfortunate the children could not be buried in the cemetery. So in saying that, as I looked around, I began to see that there was such a need because the water was pooling like in a bowl and it was just inaccessible. I saw the need that was there for 2 reasons. Number one, that we got water hydrants into the community because there's only one active water hydrant that's down in that area.
What?
Yes.
Which is the closest fire department to you?
It would be I used to refer to it as the Needham Road Fire Department.
I know Needham Road.
Yes,
my husband was a fire chief.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the fire department, as well as the one in Shenandoah too. Also,
there's one over there off of 242,
and they both responded to the fire. Okay. But because again, the hydrants were not there, they only had limited water they could bring on the fire truck, and so then they had to, as a backup, go to the water hydrant, which was the closest one, closest to David Memorial Drive, almost I-45, right. And so. In my saying that, I noticed that, again, if there was a fire that was on the internal area of the community, what would you do? What would you do? So I recognized that there was a need. And so with that need for the water hydrants as well as for the cemetery, we began to formulate a 501c3. We wanted to ensure that we had a 501c3 that had integrity in giving. That is the main thing that myself being as chairman of that 501c3 that I am pushing. To ensure that it is understood that there's integrity in giving. There are so many wonderful people. Exactly. Transparency at all times. Our books and our records are open. Simply make the request. And at any time, we will let you see the books and the records on exactly where the funds are going to. No one on the board, myself included, are not getting paid a nickel for none of the work that we're doing. This is a labor of love. It's a labor also of necessity. We see the necessity of, first of all, restoring that cemetery so that we can recognize and remember those that came before us. Again, if you know anything about the Tamina community, it is the oldest settlement in South Montgomery County, established in 1871, although there were people that lived there prior to that. But it was established there in 1871. And in that settlement, my great-grandparents were there. So there are some original settlers that played a role in South Montgomery County history. And so because I looked at it as being about history of all of Montgomery County, I did not want to keep it just within the confines of Tamina to be on the board. So we extended the board to many, many people that are outside of the Tamina community that are on our advisory board, as well as on the board of directors, so that we could collaborate and collectively work together to restore that cemetery. It's a simple process, but it just requires, again, the cooperation of everyone working together. And I have just been amazed at the response of so many.
It's been going all over Facebook. I've seen it.
Montgomery County, I am so godly proud to call this my home. I grew up here.
Nice to hear.
Yes, I grew up in the Tamina area, attended McCullough High School, as I just indicated. And once attending McCullough High School, graduated, and the Mitchell family, who developed the Woodlands, paid for my college for me to go off to university.
Wow.
And so now that I have came back after many years, came back to the area, I knew that I had to give something back. And so in looking at that, I saw that need. And so with that need, we began to formulate, and it has just taken off. It's taken off. I am just so, again, godly proud of so many people in Montgomery County that have stepped up to the plate for our fundraiser that we're having on June the 30th. Because as you know, Mr. Peter Huntsman with the Huntsman Corporation is giving $50,000 toward this project. Now, this will only help us get it started. we're wanting to ensure that this is done on a perpetual basis. That once we've all shut our eyes and passed on, or however, that this will continue.
Sustainable.
Exactly. We do not want to just simply fix it today, do a quick fix, and then 2 or 3 years up the road, we're back in the same position again.
Sure.
So we want to look at the flood mitigation. That's why we're working with our governmental authorities. We're working with everyone all the way to the state of Texas. But again, I think this is something internal of Montgomery County. We can do this. I'm an optimist.
Are you working with any local government officials on this?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're working with the county commissioner. Yes, our county commissioner. He's working very closely with us. We had a meeting with him.
Is that Jim Clark?
Yes, Precinct 4 with Jim Clark.
I know you work with Bob Bagley.
Yes, exactly. Bob Bagley sits on the advisory board with
us.
Emily? Yes, and Emily. Yes, exactly.
I know those people.
Wonderful souls. Wonderful souls that are doing an excellent job in helping us get this off the ground and get it to where it needs to get to. Because again, it has to be a collective, collaborative effort of everyone in the county.
So you need to raise $5,000. That should be very doable.
Yeah, very much so. Since the time that we've actually, since our embryo stage, or shall I say the ground zero stage, we have raised about $2,500 that has been done online. Okay. But we still had other donations that are coming in. And we know that, again, we'll leave that $5,000 on June the 30th. Our prayer is actually that we'll raise 10 and 15.
Oh, I think you will.
And I think we will too.
Do you have a website besides your Facebook page on this? Or is it just, okay,
what is that? We do have a website. It's the TaminaCDC.org. TaminaCDC.org.
Okay. Perfect. I will add that to the synopsis that I write up for the YouTube page.
Yes.
But so your fundraiser is June the 30th. It's from 11 to 6.
Correct.
And that's over at the Tamina Park.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's very easy to find.
Very easy.
Been there before myself. There's a little pavilion kind of thing.
But we're also, because of what we have planned, and again, the level that this has gone to, we plan to have an air-conditioned tent that will hold the stage area.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's our intent, is to have an air-conditioned tent.
Have you already reached out to somebody to get that?
I have placed a few calls. I'm waiting for some responses.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, but I believe we're going to get that done.
Good. What other needs do you have?
The other needs we have are for booth vendors. We have several booths that are being available to people to open up there to sell whatever they care to sell. And the booth price is $25.
Excellent.
Now, if you care to give above and beyond that, by all means, we will accept that. But we'll also be selling barbecue plates as well as fish. And then there's several other little desserts and stuff.
You have sponsorship opportunities?
Yes, there are many sponsorship opportunities.
And those are on your website where people can go and find out about that.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to blow this up.
Yes, and Emily was actually responsible for doing quite a lot of that. I mean, she is just...
I was trying to get her to come on today.
She and Victor have done such an absolutely excellent job. Both of them are promoting this event. And again, let me say the entire board. I don't want to just say just two people. There have been so many people that have given to this project in so many different directions. And again, as we call it the Tamina team, or Team Tamina.
Nice name.
Yeah, we're all on the same team. We're just in different positions, trying to get this goal accomplished. And again, I've just been blessed to be the chairman of it. That's all.
So there's over 200 graves.
Yes, ma'am.
That are underwater right now?
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, those graves are still underwater. Last week, I was out with one of the television stations out of the Houston metropolitan area, and they did a interview out there with me, and I literally had to still wear my waders that I fish in.
Wow.
I had to wear the waders to get out there because the water's above my knee areas. Unfortunately, the little reporter was so excellent too, Stephanie, to go out with me, she and her camera crew, so they could see this, because they just thought unbelievable.
Did they give you the link to that interview?
It's on Channel 11.
You should ask them for it, and then have them put it on your Facebook page so people can see it.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other link,
wonderful.
The other links for the other ones, Channel 13 and 39 and 13.
Good.
Those are already listed there.
Excellent. So you're going to have moonwalks, vendors, music, barbecue plates, any silent auction or anything like that?
No silent auctions of any kind.
Just keeping it simple.
Exactly. We're trying to do this.
$5,000 should be easy.
Yeah, we're trying our best to raise that money immediately, because we've got to get the water pumped out of the cemeteries. We all know we've just entered hurricane season again. And if another one comes to us, I mean, we're back in a worse situation. So we need to get it, the water taken out. And we've had a company that is a step forward and put some sump pumps. They're called sump pumps. available to us to go ahead and take care of that. But again, we've got to get a master plan developed so that we then can mitigate the flooding. And then again, it will not be an issue in future, is what our intent is.
Well, it sounds wonderful. And I'm glad to have you on the show to tell me more about this, because I am very interested in getting involved and seeing how I can offer you my skill set to get it out too and communicate.
And that's the one thing I'd like to make sure that I point out to everyone. This is about time, talent, and treasure. Right now, we're in the treasure place position where we've got to raise this money so we can, again, get the water taken out of the cemetery and get the master plan built and also get it designated as a historical cemetery. So in my saying that, of course, that takes money to do that. Plus, on top of that, have
you contacted the Montgomery County Historical Society?
Yes, worked very closely with Larry Forrester.
Larry Forrester,
yes,
very good.
He's the chairman there.
Right.
Attended their meeting, and they've offered me to sit on the board with them, alongside of offered a commitment in money. But again, we know that this has to be done in phases. So we're in the first phase of raising the money, and so I don't want people to think we're just raising money. But we're going to at some point need your time and your talent also to this point, toward this project. So in my saying that, we've had to do it in phases, and the phase one is the fundraising, and then, as I say, get it designated as a historical cemetery. And then once that's done, then we can get the water taken out, still phase one, and then go to phase two, the restoration process and the mitigation of flooding in future. And then we'll go to phase three. And like I say, there's so many different areas that we will have Boy Scout groups, Girl Scout groups, church groups, so many different individuals that are able to come out and give their time and their talent. So it's beyond just the money, but now we are wanting to, on a long-term basis, be able to put this into some type of perpetual care to where monthly it can be maintenance. And it'll be an area of pride for the county of Montgomery.
Well, it sounds great. It's very interesting. Did you get the fire hydrants in there yet?
Well, I was so glad to hear last week that it's been passed for the water and sewage project, that it has been passed. Overwhelmingly, the community has agreed to have that done. Now, I believe there's still some feelers out there about the CDBG money, Community Development Block Grant money, on how it will be facilitated. So there's still some areas that's got to be taken care of.
But you're working on it.
But we're working on it, because you don't want to put the pipes down one time for the water and sewage, and then you have to go back and put a larger size pipe because you need that for the fire hydrants. So we'd like to see it done in all at one time. So, so we're grateful that process has begun for that community. Again, that is my home. I grew up there. I no longer live there. I'm blessed to live over in Shenandoah now. But in my saying that, it has a very sentimental part to me. And again, when I went down Mother's Day to put flowers on my mother's grave, and again, it was still yet inaccessible, I just thought,
you don't have tolerance for that.
Yeah, we can do better. I know that we can do better collaboratively and collectively across the county.
Well, I'm glad to have you here on Conroe Culture News, Lone Star Community Radio today. And people, you can go to taminacdc.org to find out all the information. They also have an event posted on their Facebook page, which is Tamina Cemetery and Community Project, but you can Google all this and find it very easily. Sir, Mr. Easley, I appreciate you being on the show, and we look forward to June 30th and your event.
Thank you so
much.
Hope
it helps.
Yes, please keep us in your prayers. Thank you.
Y'all, that's a wrap for our show today. You've heard from three outstanding individuals in the community, and they're all nonprofit organizations and things to get involved with this summer. I'm your host, Margie Taylor. This is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic Center. Stay tuned to our Facebook page for more information.
Cupid, draw back your bow.